Good morning. It's Lynn here, and this is our very, very last Where Am I Wednesday for Southeast Asia. And we are here still in Vientiane, but only for a couple more days. And today we're starting in a different part of town to where we were last week. I can see that there's a couple of people joined us already. So, as always, please let me know who's joined and give me a thumbs up. Let me know who's here. Always love to see who's joining me. So, where are we today? Well, we're starting out front of the National Cultural Hall. So, let me just turn the camera around. Hi, Mary Lou. Great to see you. And g'day, Kevin. And it's not my camera's gone. Yeah, there, we'll go there. Okay, so good morning, and it's not Arvo at the moment. Hi, Matt. How you going, Matthew? How's your new job going? Have you started yet? So let me see. Let me just turn this camera around, and we'll just go here and turn the camera around down here. I really wish StreamYard would give me an easy button that I could do that, so I don't have to go all sorts of places. So look at that. Here's the National Cultural Hall. This is a 5-minute walk from our hotel. I just decided to start here because the streets near us are not really quite so picturesque. But we've got this auditorium, basically, 2 big performance spaces. Starting on the 8th, well, that's just a few days away. There we go. So the National Cultural Hall, it's a performance space. It holds about 1,500 people, as I understand. And it's just in typical Lao style, lots and lots of gold everywhere. Quite a lovely building. It's lit up at night, so in vertical lines, so you can see this gorgeous outline when you're looking at it at night. And Kevin says, I've got to read this, bear with me. Kevin says, I tried some Aussie snacks today. I saw that video where you said you were waiting for them. I was actually going to suggest that we could do that together if you were interested. I could collaborate with you and be on a side window in the same screen and talk you through my experiences of each one as you were going through them. My wife and I tried them on camera. I should have that video on YouTube tomorrow. Vegemite included. Well done, you. And I highly recommend having a look at, who's that late night presenter? There's a Hugh Jackman video. Sorry, there's a big sign here talking about some project that's about to start in this area. There's a video. Is it Jimmy Kimmel with Hugh Jackman? And they do the Vegemite thing. It's quite funny. And Jimmy's actually, putting his toast in and they're spreading Vegemite on and all of that. And he talks through his experience. Hugh Jackman tells him how to do it correctly, not slathering it on like Nutella. So, yeah, I look forward to watching your experience of it. We can definitely do something together. I'd like that. Give me a few days and we'll come up with something, Kevin, because today's Wednesday. Friday we fly. Friday is our big flying day. So we've got a late checkout of our hotel. We'll be there till 4 o'clock. I don't want to turn the camera around. I was going to face me while I'm talking about this, but we'll leave it as it is. It's too much hassle. So anyway, is my husband following me? Yes, he is. Let me go up this way. There's a little park up here with a fountain that's lit up at night. I'm not sure if the water's still going to be running, but we'll have a look. So we have a late checkout till 4 o'clock. We need to be at the airport about 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that, for a flight from Vientiane to Ho Chi Minh City, which is, I think the departure is at 6:50. Not sure. We'll figure it out on the day. and we fly to Ho Chi Minh City. I think that's 2 hours. We sit around Ho Chi Minh City Airport in transit for about 7 hours, I think, and fly from there at 5 o'clock in the morning to Beijing. We 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 transit there for a few hours. I think it's 4 hours in Beijing, and then we're off to Frankfurt. So we arrive in Frankfurt on Saturday at about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. We'll just do it. It'll be a long, long day, but we'll do it. Kevin says, so we had it on toast and butter and did it the way it was suggested. It was delicious. Well done. It is. I love it. I actually went out, especially because, when you're living in a place that you're not used to for an extended period of time, you do start to crave things that are familiar to you. And I found a little supermarket when we were in Penang that sold jars of Vegemite for a slightly higher price than I would normally pay back home. And we enjoyed having Vegemite for breakfast for, a week or two. And it was just a real slice of home. I love Vegemite. It's great stuff. That said, I did try it by itself afterward, and that was a mistake. You get used to it because it's very salty, of course. So it's one of those things that you can build up to. Who likes puddle shots? Let me see if I can get anything decent down here. I think it's just going to be a bit of foliage. There we go. I can actually take Vegemite straight off the spoon now. I wouldn't recommend it when you're first starting out, but it is doable. You build up to it. Basically, look, let me describe it this way. And I've got a video on Vegemite, Kevin. Remind me and I'll send you a link to it. We did it as a Hago tour when we were still with Hago. And it's basically umami. So anything you associate it with umami foods. So things like anchovies, tomato paste. Here's the fountain park. The fountain's not going, but at night time the fountain looks lovely, all lit up with coloured lights. So if you think about umami and foods that give you umami, things like miso, what else? Anyway, that's basically what you're looking at. And I did a series. I was going to actually do a series of challenge accepted type tours. I started them. There were a few Hago tours at the time with guides doing something from their own country, such as I think Mickey and Adri did, because Adri's got Argentinian heritage. He did empanadas, and I did empanadas with Vegemite. And I added the Vegemite as a sort of replace the salt and put Vegemite in as the salt and umami aspect. And I think some people found it quite interesting. I did Sayuri's, I forgot the name of it. It's like a fish stew, her Brazilian fish stew that she did. Moqueca. I did that and added Vegemite. So that sort of thing. And I think people enjoyed it. I made kangaroo stew in the style of Vanessa's Peruvian guinea pig. And again, added Vegemite. Relive your childhood and jump in the puddle. Oh, Kevin, I missed the opportunity. And no thank you. I've had enough of getting my feet wet. It's actually quite pleasurable to be walking on a dry road this morning. Yesterday we had an absolute downpour. Don't worry, guys, we're going to be getting to places with some interesting things to see. So hang in there. At the moment, we're just heading towards those places. There's one coming up on the right shortly. Yesterday we had an absolute downpour. I don't know if you noticed my hair as I went live, but I actually did manage to get a haircut. We talked about my experience of getting a haircut last time I was with you and how well that didn't go. Oh, yesterday I actually managed to get a haircut. So I had a haircut, and because we're walking around, well, I am, Richard's got shoes and socks. I'm walking around in sandals constantly. My feet are getting, real punishment. So I got a pedicure and a haircut yesterday during the downpour, lightning, thunderbolts, the whole box and dice. And all of it, the whole lot, cost me 360,000 Lao kip, which was Australian $24. This is the Embassy of Brunei. So here we go. Hi, Tariq. Great to see you. And Kevin says we should do a tour guide to your guide video where we exchange tourist attractions, destinations, and must do and should avoid between our respective areas. What do you think? I think that's a great idea, Kevin. Let's chat about that. Absolutely. I mean, we'll be in Germany for about 2 weeks, and then we're heading to Morocco. So there. So that's the. Let me see if I can get to the sign where you can actually see it. It's a little bit dull. Not much contrast at the moment. Tour guide to tour guide. Yeah, I kind of understood what you meant. Embassy of Brunei, Dar es Salaam, Vientiane, Lao People's Democratic Republic. So there we go. That's the Embassy of Brunei. I think you have a couple of tours coming up as well on World Virtual Tours that haven't appeared on the calendar as yet too, Kevin. So don't forget to do that as well. Hi, Dawn. Lovely to see you. Sorry you're late. You haven't really missed much. Did you see because we've gone past it now. Did you see the Brunei? It's up there. This is the Embassy of Brunei. All right, so as you can see, the streets are very quiet. It's, 10 past 6 on a Wednesday morning. Having said that, things do start to get active around about now. I think typical of most Southeast Asian countries, life starts early because it gets very hot later in the day. No, I'll need to watch back. Sorry, I didn't go back and look at it, Dawn, because I really want to make sure I give myself enough time to reach my final destination this morning, because it is the climax, so to speak. So I want to make sure that we don't go over time by too much. So there's a few sort of official buildings around here, government buildings. We are walking now alongside the perimeter wall of the presidential palace. So in a moment, we'll get to see in through the gates. But there's a big but here. It's undergoing renovation. So there's actually not a lot to see. So they stick newspapers in the gate here. But this is the presidential palace. And I noticed a few more people have jumped on. Give me a wave, say hi, let me know who's here. I said hi to Tariq. Great to see you. All right, so when we get up here, you'll notice a familiarity to certain aspects of the former colonizers of this country, the French. But here we start. This is the first of the beautiful lampshades or street lights that line this particular street. And then over there is what Si Sakat Sisakat, I think that's how you say it. Yeah, disappointingly, this is the front entrance of the Palais Presidential, and we can't see in there because it's undergoing renovation, which is a darn shame. Okay, so what do you think, guys? Does this look like the Champs-Elysees? Hi, Lynn, good morning. Great to see you. So there, right at the end, that's where we're aiming for, but we're going to make a couple of stops along the way. Can you see that right in the background? I'm looking through my screen and I can see it's a dot. But we are going to be heading in that direction. So let's take a wander. Let's take a wander up along Vientiane's Champs-Elysees. And no, Kevin, that wasn't an Australian accent. Well, it might have been very bad French accent. Very bad attempt at speaking French. Speaking of which, I'm doing Duolingo at the moment. The first country we touch down in is Germany. Now, Richard's got that mostly covered because of his German heritage, and he's been practicing. So we're going to be heavily relying on Richard for German. But I've been doing a little bit of Duolingo as well because I don't want to be completely left out when it comes to conversation. Or at least if I'm in a bar by myself, I'll be able to order a couple of beers in German. Well, I can do that. So I've been doing a little bit of German on Duolingo. But the second country we touch down in is Morocco, which the national language is French. I'm just going to sort of just look around on the outside of this. We're not going to go in, but this is the oldest temple in Vientiane because the temples were all destroyed and rebuilt after various invaders were evicted. But so this was this one only dates back to 1818. Kevin says he speaks High German. There we go. He speaks Hochdeutsch. I imagine you must have some French as well, Kevin. You're fairly close to the French-speaking parts of Canada, are you not? So I did French at school. I did pretty well at it, although I never considered to be very good at it. And when we've been in France in the past, I've really struggled. So I've been boning up on my French on Duolingo. Yeah, I thought you might speak some Canadian French. Now remind me again, or tell me in the chat. I remember you said what your native roots were as well, Kevin. You have native heritage as well, but I didn't catch the name of the cultural group that you had ties to. Can you pop that in the chat for me so I can remember for next time? And Kevin also says not the same as French, but pretty close. I can get by in France. Here we go. So here's this beautiful temple over here. Dawn says I was almost fluent in written French, but forgotten the majority of it now, sadly. Let me see. Mi'kmaq. Thank you. Yes, I do recall you saying what it was during one of your tours, but you said it quite quickly and I completely missed it. So thank you. Here we go. We're just going to look in the gate here. I'm not going to go wandering through because we have a couple of other places to see first. But this is quite gorgeous, isn't it? And we have seen a lot of temples. So I'm sure you're all sitting there going, no, not another temple. And apologies, Tariq, I know you love temples, but we're going to skip this one. We're just giving you a very quick glimpse from the gate. All right, we're going to step into the middle of the road up here so we can look along. I don't even know the name of this street. Have you spotted a street sign? Sorry? Champs-Élysées. Yeah, we're calling it the Champs-Élysées. And this we have here, the Asian Development Bank, Lao PDR Resident Mission. Tariq, I didn't know you were half French. I knew you were half Indian, fluent in French. Well, bonjour, Tariq. Let me see if I can get some French happening while we're in Morocco. My problem is people speak quickly and I can't understand. And then I attempt to speak and they tell me how good my French is and I'm going, really? You think that's good? I think it's terrible. All right, we're going to stand in the middle of the road here when this motorbike goes past. And here, you might be able to see it a little bit better now. What? What do you want? You want me to look that way?
No, it's not coming.
Oh, okay. I thought he wanted me to look this way. We're literally standing in the middle of the road. Okay, here we go. So this is called the Patixay Arch, and it's modelled on the French Arc de Triomphe. Are you familiar with Saint-Péry and Miquelon? No, I'm not. But we're going to get closer. We're actually, that's our end destination that I'm aiming for. So before we get there, though, we have another spot that I want to show you, which is really quite beautiful. Not sure what this is. Probably a police spot? No, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Okay, so let's cross the road here. Watch these cars go. There we go. Yeah, so I'm hoping to be able to understand by the time we get to Morocco, which is, gosh, we're going to be there in less than 3 weeks. I'm hoping to have improved my French a little bit to at least be able to, I don't know, ask directions. I can say à droite et à gauche, but am I saying it well enough for people to understand me? So this is the Siam Commercial Bank. Don says, Tariq, it must be amazing to be able to speak several languages. Doubt my memory now. Yeah, my memory is pretty poor. My retention is pretty poor. And I'm losing hearts. Anyone who's doing Duolingo knows what that means. I run out of hearts and I go and I use my gems to buy more because I make so many mistakes. Hold on. Kevin just said 2 islands off the coast of Newfoundland. They are a part of France. 100% European in every way. The ferry ride there from Newfoundland is only an hour or 2 long. I love visiting them when I can. Oh, they sound like perfect destinations for tours as well, Kevin. I detect 2 virtual tours coming up. Tariq says, I hardly use my French, only when ringing France. Oh, yeah, you would need it for that, wouldn't you? So there's an art project along this wall here. And I don't know much about it, but it appears that it's been commissioned. So it's a complete project by 7 different artists. And it would appear to depict aspects of Lao life. So these people, for instance, are harvesting look possibly palm or grass of some sort. And I'm not sure if that indicates that they make paper from it, that bottom part of the picture. But you have a writing implement, and yeah. So my guess is that that's a depiction of paper making of some sort. Hello. And then this one here is quite faint. Let me see if I can get you in close to it. But you have it's like it's stenciled, and it shows people in processions by the looks of it. And it's called the Tree of Life and Celebration. It says the artwork represents cultural diversity, education, interdependence, and peaceful coexistence. It is called the Tree of Life, and it symbolizes the relationship between culture and nature, diversity and complexity, while maintaining balance and sustainability. Additionally, the Prasat Pyong procession is an important festival in Laos. The word Pyong means bee, and in the traditional belief, it is a harmonious animal and diligent in building its nest. Therefore, the bee is a symbol of unity. There we go. And there's a shrine over here. It's beautiful, isn't it, Kevin? Loving the street art. I thought you would, Tariq. I was hoping you would pop up on my tour because I know how much you love street art. Okay, and then this one here. Let me see.
Actually, you can walk and take photo and video only the picture on the wall only, not the road and cover the foot, not cover the post and the road. So, okay,
So
only the picture on the wall is okay. But this section here.
What about the stupa?
That's okay, but you can't film. Yeah, just focus on.
So as long as I'm focusing on
no.
on the stupa, walking towards it is okay?
Can walk.
Yes.
Sure, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so not either side.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
It's going to be tricky. I've just been approached by a security guard telling me what I can and can't focus the camera on, but we'll try and stick to what he says. So blinkers on, guys. We're not allowed to look left and right. We have to look straight ahead. So this one is called Temples in Savannakhet Province. And isn't that gorgeous? It's very beautiful. Look at that. And then we have some dancers, people dancing. Okay, let me see. I'll point at the wall while I talk. This piece shows the activities of the Boon Paved Festival, including the elephant and horse parades, the Lao traditional music band, or Maholi, and angels blessing the occasion from the sky. The three temples in this artwork are found in Savannakhet and are home to wall paintings being documented under the 2022 AFCP program. Now, all of these artworks are something to do with the AFCP program, but I don't know what the AFCP program is. So if anybody wants to look that up for me and share that with me, I'm more than happy for you to do so. It is beautiful, isn't it, Mary Lou? Can we get a shot of the full image? Sure. Let me step back, and because it's vertical, and I don't do vertical anymore, I just don't think it works for YouTube. But there we go. So you've got stuff on either side of it. Okay, so the next one is really beautiful. I have to get right back against the opposite wall for you to see it. Here we go. So, Lao. And what have we got? We have people riding elephant and buffalo in the L. It says lively, amazing, original, simple. So it's used the letters of the name Lao to create the anagram. I think the festival mask. Now that the second image, the A, that depicts the plain of Jars, which is an ancient site in the northeast of Laos. And I investigated ways to get there, but it's just too far. It's a long way, and it's really quite arduous getting to the Plain of Jars. But it's quite a large area, and these really ancient stone jars. And then we have someone playing a traditional musical instrument. And that thing on the left there is an offering to the temples. So it's usually made up of banana leaves with flowers on sticks. And then this one here shows traditional crafts. There's weaving, there's pounding in a mortar and pestle. There's the sticky rice in those bamboo containers. Isn't it gorgeous? And it says over here, celebrating 20 years of cultural preservation in Laos. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'll just stop quickly and have a look. It says the character of Laos. If asked what Laos really is, the answer must be everything that exists, the liveliness, the amazing landscape sceneries, the original traditions, and the simply beautiful in every aspect. That is why we came up with the definition of each abbreviation that formed the word Laos. I think that's sensational. Gorgeous. Okay. Now this one is really beautiful. It's on a dark background, but with gold depiction. Look at that. And I'm going to focus on that person there while I read to you. Well Wishes, it's called. Actually, why don't I show you the plaque? This mural celebrates the AFCP project and its 20th anniversary in 2021. In particular, the Hintang archaeological site in Hua Pan province, which was the first AFCP project in Laos, and including reference to the AFCP mural project in Wat Sisakat Museum, which is that temple down on the corner that we saw. There is a museum inside that, on that site. The two angels, Makala and Manola, from our traditional literature show their appreciation to the US Embassy and the AFCP program, and wish all involved participants the highest success in your personal and professional life. Best wishes. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And the next one, this is really interesting. So it's the map of Laos. Okay, again, I want to just stand back so you can see it in full first. And it shows the American flag and the Lao flag at the top.
Yeah, it's the Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation.
Ah, there we go, the AFCP, Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation. So that's AFCP. Now, the map depicts the languages of the country, and what the artist has said is, not the languages, the names of the provinces. I brought the name of all the provinces and wrote them on the map of Laos to raise pride in the homeland of the Lao people in each locality that is full of uniqueness, arts and culture. Thanks to the AFCP program, which is raising attention to preserving Lao culture, like putting a stamp on the front of an envelope to send these prides to the world. So yeah, that's the names of the provinces of Laos in the Lao language. And here's another depiction of this. Long night.
Yes.
So this is another depiction of the Plain of Jars, along with a temple on the left. Preservation of palm leaf. Manuscript, National Library. That's what that says down the bottom there. And this is called AFCP Graffiti Journey. That says, the journey of my graffiti in Laos has reached its 20th anniversary this year, which coincides with the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation. In this picture is a collection of some places that have received funds from the project, from the north to the south of Laos, which I have selected. Tat Patum, Stupa, and Wat Sing Tong in Luang Prabang province. So that would be, that's the Wat, and that's the stupa. Where are we? Plain of Jars, which is, as I said, that's this here, the Plain of Jars. Encourage you to look that up and have a look because it's so fascinating. I think its origins are still unclear. And including the preservation of the palm leaf manuscripts, the documentation of the cultural practices of the Katu minority ethnic group in the Annam Mountains of southern Laos. By painting these pictures with spray paint technique or graffiti, a new artistic combination used to paint the first wall of this mural project. So his was the first in this series that went up on this wall. They must have been making paper from palm leaves in that earlier image. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I eventually got there. I eventually figured that out, didn't I? That it was paper making. I'm not going to go back up there. We need to keep moving if we're going to make the arch. All right, so I need to do a quick whiz around so that we're looking at the stupa. Right, stupa, there. And we're not looking at anything else. Okay, we're only looking at the stupa. Guys, no left or right. No filming, blinkers on. We're not looking left or right. We're looking just at the stupa. Now, I know it's late in the Netherlands, but I invited Mark Law to join me. I invited that damn guide to join me on this tour because this stupa is called That Damn Stupa, which I'm sure is pronounced Tat Dam or something like that. But it's actually called, on the map, when you look at it, it's called Tat Dam Stupa. And it's really gorgeous. Look at it. There we go. There's an awkward crane in the background that I'm going to try and visually crop. So let me see how we go with that. We're going to try and get that crane out of view. But the problem is that the building comes in on the left-hand side. It creeps in on the left as I try and get the crane out on the right. So we're going to go around the other side of the stupa and look at it from a different angle. Let me see if I can find out anything about this stupa for you. It's a muddy puddle here. Step over that. Okay. Historic Town Conservation Zone. I'm not sure if this talks about the stupa or just the work that's underway. So here it says, and look at that cute little thing. So this is, the people have been leaving offerings here. There's two down there as well. So they buy these. They buy these little things at the markets. Historic area of original Vientiane capital. Yeah, this is talking about the whole precinct. So I won't dwell on that. I want to try and find if there's a plaque actually telling me. So this is the trick. When you're traveling, you're visiting an area that you're not familiar with, is boning up. Oh, squelch, 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 squelch. Boning up on all the places that you visit in such a way that you can intelligently impart that to your audience. Possibly, Kevin, if that's what the if it extends from the presidential palace to the Patrick arch, then yes, that's the name of it, the Rue Bartholomew. Okay, I have nothing for you. This is a stupa. It's beautiful, surrounded by squelchy, muddy puddles and grass that I'm just trying to inch my way through. Okay, so as Kevin's just kind of pointed out, the names of the streets use the word rue in the title, which is obviously harks back to the French. Gregory says we're still all wearing our blinkers, so we can't see any crane or building. Oh, well done, Gregory. Well done. Well done. Good little audience, doing as you're told. You can take your blinkers off now. Okay, so there we go. There's that damn stupa. Lovely sky. All right. I think Rich is trying to find a good angle for me. I don't know what he's doing over this side of the road. I'm always hearing cats meowing. I don't know if they're getting stuck in weird places or what, but every time I go out for a walk in the morning, I hear cats. Chateau du Lau. I hear cats meowing. Can you hear it? Okay, let's head towards the arch. Here's some of these funny looking Dr. Seussian style topiaries, which are quite common everywhere in Southeast Asia. These ones need a trim. They're trying to sprout. So that was interesting. The security guard coming over. I'm just looking at this palm and what's on the ground underneath it. So these are the fruits of the palm. Oh, there's a squirrel. Oh, hello, squirrel. There he goes. I think I might have startled him out of the top of this tree. There he goes. Okay. Right, let's head towards the arch. There's a tuk-tuk. Every time we walk past tuk-tuk, they say tuk-tuk, and we say no, thank you. Just going for a walk. See, now that sign has a picture of scissors in it, so I can clearly see that one does cutting. But yesterday I was trying to escape the rain. I was intending to get my feet done. As I said, the constant wearing of sandals is really punishing on your feet. So I took refuge in this salon, and I saw that they were doing hair as well. I went, "You beauty, let's get the whole box and dice done." High voltage squirrel. Sorry, high voltage squirrel. The squirrel has done that a few times. Yes, I think he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? He definitely looked like he knew his way around, knew how to negotiate those power lines. Okay, let's head to the arch. This is Richard's first visit, and I haven't been closer to the arch than where we've already been just now. So this is all new territory for all of us. I'm just going to cross the road when I get a chance. Here we go. Richard's raced ahead. He's keen to see the arch. So apparently, my understanding of the Patricksay Arch is that when the French left the region and they left Laos and Vietnam around about the same time, they made a financial contribution to the Lao people as restitution. And it was meant to be used. I mean, the French had their ideas about how the money was to be used, what it was meant to be, what it was intended for. The Lao people decided to build a triumphal arch. Now, that feels very much like an up yours to me. Anyway, let's have a look at it. All right. We'll stay on the road for a little while. We'll move off the road when the cars are coming towards us. So it's a triumphal arch in the style of the Arc de Triomphe, but with its own Lau embellishments. So we'll see as we get closer in more detail what that looks like. This is actually the bike lane, so we should be fairly safe to walk here for the time being. Oh, there's an Australian bank. There's a lot of association with Australia here in Laos. We seem to be investing money into the country in lots of different ways, but ANZ is the Australian and New Zealand Banking Group. They do, don't they, Dawn? Yeah, I was just trying to sort of discreetly point the camera towards that woman carrying the baskets on her shoulders, and they do it every day. I went to the night markets last night, which is basically it's a lot of cheap clothing, and you can imagine the amount of child labour involved, underpaid workers in producing massive amounts of cheap clothing. But those stalls aren't there during the day. They bring everything in every day for the daily night market, which is extraordinary. I mean, the amount of stuff that I saw there was just incredible. And every stall had similar things. So I could have got the same elephant print pants in at least 20 different stalls. Knockoff brand clothing, lots of Balenciaga, and what else did I see? Givenchy. Louis Vuitton is popular. Oh, Burberry. I saw a pair of undies. There's another abbreviation for you, Kevin. I saw a pair of undies there, men's undies. It wasn't Calvin Klein. It was something like Calvin Klein. This is something odd like that. Yes. So they do that to the names too, not very discreetly get around the copyright, I'm sure. All right, I'm going to scoot across to the middle when we get to the traffic lights up there so we can get more of a straighter line towards the arch. How are we going for time? 48 minutes we've been going, so I think we can go another 10, can't we? And that should all be fine. Looks like my timing worked out okay. All right, so we have no more plans after today. We're kind of just going to, rest up, take it easy. We've got 2 big travel days ahead, which is going to be absolutely exhausting. I sleep very badly on planes. I don't sleep at all. And of course, there's no room, there's no space. It's cramped, confined. I need to remind myself to keep moving my legs. There's a funny looking model over there. It's like a clinic of some sort, but is he meant to be a dentist? Okay, let's go into the middle. I will go now. And I'll just wait for these cars to go, and I'll move up to the right. Let's go up here. Should be okay walking through this. You wouldn't do this in France, would you? You wouldn't do this on the Champs-Élysées, but on Rue Bartholomew. Oh, hang on, Kevin, I've got an update for you. I found it. Avenue Lanzang. Okay. Here we go. Avenue Lanzang. The crossroad here is called Rue Dong Palan. Okay, let's go back. Back this way. Back this way, and I'll just catch up with Dawn's comment. It says, when you're small like me, you have plenty of room on a plane, but I'd love to know what business class is like. Oh, wouldn't you? Ah, just once I want to be upgraded. Actually, I was upgraded once, but it was more through points, I think, than anything else. When my eldest, who's now 30, was 6 months old, why did the tour guide cross the road? To stand in the middle. Exactly. Yep. To stand right in the middle, where I am now. When my eldest was 6 months old, I flew to Adelaide from Sydney to meet Richard, who was there for work, and I got upgraded to business class. But as I said, I think it was more through points than anything else. And you should have seen it. First of all, it wasn't very impressive because it was only a very small plane, so it wasn't actually that impressive. Maybe slightly bigger seats. But I was there as a mother with a 6-month-old baby, surrounded by businessmen who were giving me very furtive looks. You can just imagine them thinking, oh my God, we've got a baby with us. She better keep that baby quiet. I could just, this is what I was hearing in my head during that trip. Of course, Nicholas was a dream baby. He was ideal. And I got congratulated by them when we disembarked. Is that what you call it, getting off a plane? They came up to me and said, oh, your baby's so good. I thought, yeah. That's not what you would have been telling me if he was crying, though, is it? So, yes, here we go. Patuxay Monument. Spelled Patuxay, I believe. Dating back to most likely around about the 1960s, which is, I believe, when the French left this region. It's rather beautiful, isn't it? All right, so Richard's already up there, standing underneath the middle of the arch, which is where we're headed now. And we're planning on, that's probably one thing we will do, we'll get a cab back. This is about the only time of day where we're prepared to do this distance walking because of the heat. After about 8 o'clock in the morning, it's just too humid. The French haven't been gone that long then. No, they haven't. There was a memorial or a celebration in Vietnam while we were there of 70 years. 70 years since reunification, which was basically when the French left Vietnam. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got my history correct there. 1954? Yeah, I think that's right. It was between World War II and what the Vietnamese call the American War. So there was in Vietnam there was the French War, and then there was the American War. There is a roundabout, like at the Arc de Triomphe. 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes here. I think there's 12 in Paris. Okay, so I just need to carefully cross, make sure nothing's heading my way. Yep, all good. And here we are. And I better do this, hadn't I? Richie, can you hold that for me, and I'll try and sort of line myself up in the middle. Yeah, the flowers are pretty cute, aren't they? They're the frangipanis that we've been seeing. So over there across the road is a few big frangipani trees, and that's the frangipani reflected in those bollards. All right. Now I know that there's some kind of a fountain or something over here, but I don't think it's operating at the moment. So let's just walk underneath, see what it looks like underneath. I'd have loved to have done something like this with Le Paris de Patrick. Would have been great to do a collaboration with the two arches and that connection between France and Laos. Look up there. That's something you won't see in the Arc de Triomphe. So we have friezes to do with Lao culture, so that there's references to Buddhist worship. There appears to be a balcony of some sort up there. This shows the 3 white elephants supporting the green Buddha, the jade Buddha, I think that would be. You are hearing birds, yes, Lynn. Lots of them. They're flying around up there. You might see little shapes just moving occasionally. And then on, so the 4 different panels. This one has the 7-headed Naga serpent with the multi-armed, I guess, again, I don't try to interpret Buddhism. I know too little about it. But I know that this is the protector, the demon protector. Beautiful, isn't it? And then out here, oh, I'm going to get in someone's way now. We've got this fellow with a camera. Oh, he's packing up. I was just envisaging, can't even say it, him not being very impressed with me walking through his arch and spoiling his shot. But there we go. So there's a planting here. It looks like it's in the shape of a star. Can't get up high enough, I don't think, to actually see the shape of it. But let's see what we can manage. I'll stand on this bench if I can. Getting up on things like this is not so easy for me to do, but no, my knees don't have the strength. Sorry. That's the best I can do, I'm afraid. So there we go. That's the beautiful. It's the shape of a flower. Could be the shape of a flower. So do not step on the grass. So this is as close as I can get. So we're going to come back here at night. We're going to catch a cab. I think I was talking about how humid it gets at this time of day. We're already starting to feel very humid. So we'll come back at night. This fountain should be working. And it's going to look quite lovely, I imagine, with the fountain in front of the arch. That's quite nice anyway, isn't it? The reflection in the pond. Ah, look at this. There we go. I'm not going to make a commitment. I won't schedule it because I don't know what's going to happen. But keep an eye on, we're on the live stream events channel right now. Keep an eye on my channel. If I go live, when we come back at night, and I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow night, we're watching the weather constantly as well. What I might do is go live spontaneously. So keep an eye out, and if I do, it'll stay there as a recording anyway. But obviously, to get this whole thing in the reflection, you need to be taller than me. Or you need long arms. or a big selfie stick or something. So there we go. That was my Where Am I Wednesday, my last one for Southeast Asia. You're not vending prohibited. You're not allowed to set up stalls here. You'll have to bring step ladders in the taxi. Looks like they're actually gardening. They're cutting out the shape here. So there's some work in progress. I'll have to get Richard to stand on that bench and see if he can get a clear shot of the... Oh, the wind's just picked up. Sorry, guys, if you're getting that. And then let's go over here just a little further away and see it from this angle. So you can see there's this big square here. I don't know what happens here at night. There might be something here in the evening. There we go. All right, everyone. That's it. That's me for today. Did you enjoy it? I have no idea what this building is over on my right. It's got the Lao flag, so maybe it's Parliament. Which I'm thinking would be a reasonable guess. Yeah, it's probably Parliament. You are very welcome, Lynn. And if this does turn out to be my last tour in Southeast Asia, there's a chance that I might do one or two more. I may go live from the airport in Ho Chi Minh. I'm going to have plenty of time on my hands. There's a chance I may go live. Again, it'll be spontaneous. I'm not going to schedule anything. Just too hard to know. I don't know what state I'm going to be in. I'm normally in bed by 9:30 at night. So being awake at midnight, I don't know what my chances are going to be. Oh, thank you, Alicia. I didn't even know you were there. Lovely to see you. All right, let's come in. I'm trying to tell him to come around here. He's sitting there on the wall. And I'm trying to get him to come around and look at the reflection. Plus, I'll wait till he gets here before we sign off. I'm saying goodbye, but there's a nice reflection here that you're missing out on. All right.
Got me all the way over.
Yes, I got you over here for a reflection. Just wait a second. Okay. See, he's complaining that I got him to walk over here. All right. So that's it from us, from Southeast Asia. Maybe, unless I do one or two more spontaneous tours. Otherwise, I really hope you've enjoyed traveling through Southeast Asia with us. And the next adventure continues in Europe. So come along, join me there. All right. It was unexpectedly quiet there at this time of day. Thanks, Lynn. You're very welcome, Gregory. And here we go. We've got the reflection in the background. Go away. Here, there, look. Let me just see if I can tilt that down at all. There we go. Oh, look. Almost there, almost there. All right, everyone. Thanks again, and see you in Europe. Bye for now.